Hello, everyone, and welcome to an all-new edition of Sprout Central, the happiest show on TV. I'm Dennis Tynes. I'm the host of the show, and we have a fantastic show today. We've been trying to get this guest all season long, but he has his own show, and he's busy, and he just interviewed a couple of big movie stars. But we're going to have him on the show today, and we're going to tell you all about that in just a few minutes. But first, let's talk about what we did last week on Sprout Central. Last week, we came back from a break. We had a couple of reruns, and we just talked about what we've been doing all season long on season 2 on Sprout Central, which is trying to help people change their mindset, which is change your way of thinking about what's going on around you, and then do things like take the self-directed shift, set the goals, and then reach the abundance. And we referred you to a lot of people last week that can help you with that. You can follow them on the social media. All you have to do is look back, watch last week's episode of Sprout Central if you missed it, on the WXVO YouTube channel, WXVO Ocean 7. And we're going to have our own YouTube channel coming up, starting with season 3. Speaking of which, this is the second to last show for season 2. So if you've been watching along so far, you know that there are a lot of business opportunities out there, that Sprout can help you get the funding you need, and you need to write a business plan. And you've seen a lot of ideas on what you can do to start your own business or just start something that you really want to do. Today we're going to talk about podcasting again. We've had a big podcaster on here. Now we have the big podcaster on here. We got Phil Krohn on the show from Krohn Studios. He does the Krohncast podcast, where he interviews local musicians, movie stars, local actors, and artists, and other things like that. Actually, we're going to let him tell all about that. And we'll be right back after a couple of messages.
The best thing we did at the Y was that lobby. I love seeing the seniors sit around drinking coffee, talking. You know, we have a lot of books. You've seen our library in there, reading books. There's one group that brings snacks once a week, and they just sit around and socialize. And of course, we do trips for our seniors too.
Okay, we're back. And Connor is back from vacation. So Mr. 100%'s on the show today. Welcome back, Connor.
It's great to be here.
You know, you got promoted while you were on vacation. Did you hear about that?
I did. They sent a telegram.
A telegram?
Yeah, I was in Colorado in the mountains, so no phone service.
Oh, so, well, congratulations. You're the official co-host of Sprout Central TV. That's a big deal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think, you know, they paid Joey, and we talked about this last week. Julia Reyes came in and did the co-hosting. That, you know, they pay Joey in the temporary tattoo, so I think you might start getting a temporary tattoo every week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure. Well, you know, corporate will get in touch with you about that.
Absolutely.
But they did give you the vacation, so
they did.
That's nice. What did you do?
Well, I went skiing a lot. It was cold. I'm not particularly fond of the cold, but once you have all that ski gear on, it really doesn't faze you much. I was skiing, and it was our second day there, and as I was going down the slope, there was a moose running parallel to me.
Really?
Straight down the slope, yep. And then on the fourth day, which was our last day of skiing, I saw a bobcat, and he crossed the skiing path as we were going down.
That's so interesting, you know, these mountainous areas. You know, I've heard of, like, even what do they have? The cougars out there? They have cougars.
Bears,
maybe. You gotta
maybe.
watch out for that.
Yeah.
So you got to go skiing, see some interesting events in the nature events. That's cool.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, so you went on vacation, right?
Yes.
Did you leave your phone behind, or did you do any trading while you were on vacation?
Actually, I did do some trading, but I used a trailing stop loss most of the time. So anytime the stock price went up, my stop loss went up. So
really,
I was able to automate trading while doing that. And I was going down the slope, And actually, I got a notification on my phone that one of my stop losses kicked in, but I still made profit.
Excellent. So you're learning a lot of stuff about how to trade, all the different techniques and things like that. And are you still, you know, I told you we have a big podcaster on the show today here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you get a chance to talk to Phil in the rehearsal about maybe your podcast and get a few tips?
Absolutely. He was actually one of my first inspirations for the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the reason I wanted to do it. The classes, not so much. I've always wanted to teach other people the knowledge that I know, but particularly the podcast, Phil is actually the reason I wanted to get into it.
Because he just started doing it and made it happen, and now he's a big success at it.
Absolutely.
You know, these local success stories really do motivate other people to give it a try. And
Absolutely, and if he's capable, well, if I'm half as capable, I can do at least half of what he is.
And hey, then you're a big success anyway. So
Absolutely.
there you go. So teaching the classes, I always kind of envisioned it being like a, oh, my little thing's coming out, an in-person thing, but that was, you know, now we've got this whole, you know, I guess the technology's always been there, but more people are doing it online. So are you still planning to do your classes online, or are we going to do anything in person?
Well, for now, we can do online because anyone in the United States, doesn't matter if you're in the Colorado mountains or you're in a swimming pool down in Florida,
Right.
you could trade on your phone. And with that access, you can also join the Zoom. You can be on the Zoom call with your family on vacation or wherever you are. So it adds an extra layer of convenience. But to help locally, I think it would be better to do it in person, one-on-one.
You know, if we did the stock classes, another thing would be maybe we could bring in some of these entrepreneurs who need their business plan or want to learn about the fix and flip, or a new thing we have called the built for sale loan, and we could give some classes on that as well. I think, you know, those would be some, you know, helping people create income streams as well.
Absolutely. Investing in stocks is not everything, and it shouldn't be your only source of income.
Right.
You should obviously supplement it with other things, as well as your job, not just your job. I mean, these investment opportunities, they have the ability to take you to the next level. Like with $10,000, you can control $100,000 worth of real estate. So that's insane.
Right, and that's one thing we should talk about that after the break. We're going to do a little break in a minute, but about you know, how to maybe get into real estate investing. You know, Sprout helps with that.
Yes.
Especially, well, not just any type, but, you know, apartments or multifamily, even, you know, the fix and flip and things like that. So we've got a lot of great ideas and experience with that. Maybe we can help people get more into the real estate investing. We'll talk about that after the break coming up.
Absolutely.
Okay, you got any quick stock tips? Because we're going to switch gears when we come back. What what about you told me Apple. We have a couple seconds. Apple's always good to play if you're playing options because...
Yes. Because it follows SPY. So SPY is a really good indicator for Apple because, I mean, well, it is a part of SPY. So if you see SPY down 3-4%, good time to buy Apple, because when SPY goes up 3-4% the next day.
SPY, the ETF. And if you want to know more about learning to play Apple or other things, start tuning into Sprout Central, and we're going to let you know when the next trading class is and when we're going to do some in-person classes with Connor and some other people so you can learn to trade. Okay, we'll be right back after a couple of messages with more with Connor.
Let's put our heads together on a great staycation. Berry Creek Cabins in nearby Bogalusa, Louisiana is your wilderness staycation headquarters. Cozy cabin lodging for 4 to 12 people with modern amenities, kitchens, relaxing porches, fishing, and a 2,700 square foot party deck pavilion. Call 985-730-4395 or berrycreekcabins.com. Berry Creek Cabins is family staycation headquarters.
Okay, we're back, and we're still talking to Mr. 100% about stocks, credit, income opportunities, all those types of things. Connor, what are some other things you're doing right now besides the trading?
Well, working on my credit for one. Credit is very important.
I couldn't agree more with that.
Aren't you actually working on a book about credit?
Oh yeah, we're doing the, every person should read this book, especially young people.
Yeah.
I would love for it to be, in every school. We'd give it to them, just so that people can grow up with good credit and maintain good credit their whole lives. It's a really simple process if you just know a few basic things.
Absolutely. If you have the capital and money to invest, the next step is credit.
Right.
It's so versatile and important to use. Any real estate, a car, you can actually get better rates on your car, cheaper credit cards, fees, and just so much. So about the real estate with credit, what type of credit do you need for, let's say, a fix and flip loan?
So you're definitely going to have to have good credit. I don't know exactly what the score would be. I mean, it kind of varies.
Mm-hmm.
They will look at your individual credit file and go, oh, well, this makes sense, and then give an exception for a low score. But a low credit score is usually problematic. In fact, one of the biggest problems we run into, people come in, they want to buy an apartment complex. I found a duplex I want to buy. I've got X amount to put down. Well, that'd be great if you had a good credit score. And so, but with Sprout, we work with people and help them get their credit score up. And we don't charge them for that at all. A lot of people do have the credit repair business, but we're not doing that. But we will help you get your credit score up so you can then invest in the real estate.
Absolutely.
You and I were talking about investing in real estate in the rehearsal today.
Yeah, we were. Specifically, a fourplex. I was thinking about getting a fourplex to start with. So other people that don't have as good credit or as much capital for a fourplex, where do you think that they could start?
So, maybe with a small fix and flip that they then, either sell that one and move on, or maybe even buy a house to rent, fix it up, and then rent it out. Start a little rental portfolio. That's a good idea. And honestly, just the younger you are doing that, the better. Just like the younger you are starting to learn to trade the stocks and add different income streams, the better. So we want to help the young people with, we're going to give them this credit book so they can know how to build their credit, and then do some other things along with the investing, like buying some real estate. Have you ever thought about doing like maybe even a commercial strip where you have maybe 4 or 5 little retail spaces for available on a corner? That's a lot of money in there.
Yeah, that is. You're talking about commercial real estate.
Yes.
So do you need any special license for just buying the real estate?
No, anyone can buy commercial real estate.
Oh, okay.
A big thing now, when you're talking to someone like Sprout about getting a loan, a big thing is, well, have you ever done that before?
Yeah, it is more risky, right?
Well, the banks look at that and they know that if you haven't ever done it before, that the risk is greater. So there has to be some other things in there to kind of mitigate that.
Absolutely.
But anyone can get into it, especially with a company like Sprout who will help you along the way. Maybe it takes you a few months to get to where you're ready, but we'll get you ready.
So aside from the fix and flip, what other things can you do with credit?
So here's a new thing. It's called the Built for Sale, BFS, Built for Sale loan. It's a new product we've got out there now, where let's just say you find a subdivision and there's several houses being built in there, and you see a couple of lots for sale, and you think, well, I'd like to buy a lot and build a house and sell it, make a little money. Well, normally there wasn't a product available for the average person to be able to do that, but now there is. It's called the Built for Sale. But again, it really depends on your resume.
Yeah. So would that be easier than, well, not easier to profit off of that than buying an already established house?
So it may be. People really like brand new. People love brand new, never spilt a cup of coffee, houses. People love to, especially, you know, in some of the communities like Ocean Springs, where there's so many unique places where there's beautiful houses to live in, single family developments going on. Ocean Springs is really on the grow. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of different things. Credit, you know, how important that is, some stocks, and then, you know, for those who are interested in adding an income stream and want to get into buying real estate for money, we can help with that. Okay, so we're going to be right back though after a quick break, and we're going to have Phil Krohn on the show, and we're going to talk about Krohncast and Krohn Studios and all things podcasting. So stick around, we'll be right back.
Adventures Pub and Spirits awarded locals' favorite hangout, best late-night eatery, and best bar on the coast, along with TripAdvisor's Hall of Fame, offering a large menu of traditional coast seafood favorites like fresh oysters, royal reds, seafood platters, po' boys, as well as wings, burgers, steaks, and much more. Stop by and join us for our $9.95 weekday lunch special. That's Adventures Pub and Spirits, located 1 block north of the Hard Rock Casino, downtown Biloxi.
Okay, we're back, and just like we promised, we finally got Phil Krohn on the show from Krohn Studios. Phil, welcome to Sprout Central, man.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
You're a busy guy.
Very busy, too busy.
You know, I know you. I'm from some people who told me that I should reach out to you, or told the producers to reach out to you, as the head of the Krohn Studios and the Krohncast podcast productions. But I also heard you're in a rock band from New Orleans.
Yeah. I play in a hard rock band called Transient out of New Orleans, and basically we've been together for about a year, recording music, shooting music videos. We got about 3 music videos out on YouTube, and we're doing a 4th one within a couple weeks. We're just getting all that together for when we're able to tour. And play shows, and we're going to get out there hopefully by this summer and hit the road and see what we can do.
Well, that'll be fun. You need to send one of our camera guys along with you, and we'll check in from the road. I love that.
As long as he's low maintenance, send them on. Let's go.
We've got a really good low maintenance one. Okay, so you're in the rock band, but you I guess it's about 28 episodes ago now, you started the Krohncast podcast.
Yeah.
What was the motivation for doing that?
Basically, we saw a bunch of friends doing podcasts, and we felt like we could do our own form. We wanted to do a long form interview, and we usually do 2 to 3 hours with people.
I watched a couple of those long interviews.
Yeah, and they are long, but to me, that's how you can really get to know somebody. You know, sitting down and talking to them for that long, getting some drinks going. We have a lot of musicians on. We have political figures. We've had artists like. Last night we had Jason London, Korn actors on. And
Big movie stars.
Yeah, we have a bunch of people from the movie industry, and we have hair and makeup people. Like we'll have just about anybody on, and we also do a drummer to drummer segment. We do a comedy series where we have local comedians.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we do live shows, and we have bands play, and we started about 28 episodes ago out of boredom because we couldn't play music. Me and Mitchell Gruich, my co-host, we couldn't play shows. And
Mitchell's been on the show from the radio.
Yeah, Mitchell's great. And so far it's been really fun. We've met a lot of really cool people. And we're excited to keep going with it. And we're putting on live concerts around town. We got one March 27th at the Juke Joint, Krohncast-a-Palooza.
In Ocean Springs, the Juke
Absolutely,
Joint?
yep, March 27th.
March 27th.
Yep, outdoor stage. We got 6 or 7 bands playing, full sound. It'll be live streamed. We have some guys from 97.9, Special K is hosting it, and we have multiple vendors. We've got Red Radio Podcast, Rushmore Podcast, one of my favorite podcasts. They're going to be out there interviewing people. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait.
Oh, I've definitely got to go see that.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it's
been a
good.
long time since I've been to the Juke Joint.
Yeah.
I love that place. I love their outdoor stage. One of the many great businesses we have in Ocean Springs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so when you first started podcasting, though, you made a decision to do it. You knew you didn't have any viewers. What were the challenges in the very beginning, or some things you had to overcome to actually just get started doing it?
Well, I don't know how to talk on camera. You know, I have no experience in this. Basically, the challenges at first was getting guests that were interesting, because you know you have your friends on. Your friends may not be very interesting. You know, you think they have something to talk about. When that camera turns on, they'll freeze up. As I'm sure you know, a lot of people freeze up, and it's hard to get them to come out of that shell. But now it's a lot easier. People are coming to us now, like they're hitting us up, and we've gotten into a flow where we can kind of converse freely. And everything kind of gels together. The main challenge now is we're working on getting some sponsors and sponsorships. And we got a couple in the bag, but we're trying to get a lot more so we can grow the show, put on more live shows, put on more live streams, and have different people from different professions on, and just to grow the whole thing.
Well, shoot, you just had a couple of big movie stars. I know Jason London, he was in that movie Dazed and Confused, right?
Yeah.
And then Krohn Nimick.
Yep.
Another big.
Absolutely.
And they're working on a pilot. They filmed a pilot locally.
Yeah,
what I heard.
Blackwater Blues. They just got done shooting the pilot here in Ocean Springs, around all the spots in Ocean Springs, and I think they're in the editing stage. I'm not sure where it's at, but they're going to pitch it to all the studios and see who picks it up, and it sounds really good. And so I was really happy to have them on.
I think those kind of guests will, the sponsors will start coming to you just like the viewers started coming to you. When you first started, you didn't have a lot of viewers. And now, people are watching the show. You've got people knocking on your door trying to be the guest and things like that.
Yeah.
It's going to build. And you know what? You're inspiring others. You heard Connor say you inspired him he wants to do a stock market spot podcast. And, and continue teaching the classes and helping people learn to trade and things like that.
Yeah, I'd love to have him on my show, and we'll talk stocks. I got a couple other guys that are really into stocks, and he can bring his knowledge of probably the right way to invest.
Right.
I do the wrong way to invest. I throw buckets of money at GameStop and AMC, and shoot for the moon. That's what I like to do.
He knows what he's doing, and I get a lot of advice from him. Look, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. So stick around for more Sprout Central right after this.
Let's put our heads together on a great staycation. Berry Creek Cabins in nearby Bogalusa, Louisiana is your wilderness staycation headquarters. Cozy cabin lodging for 4 to 12 people with modern amenities, kitchens, relaxing porches, fishing, and a 2,700 square foot party deck pavilion. Call 985-730-4395 or berrycreekcabins.com. Berry Creek Cabins is family staycation headquarters.
Okay, we're back, and we're still talking to Phil Krohn about podcasting. And Phil, what was it like to interview the big movie stars finally, after starting out with no viewers and to grow to the point that you're interviewing movie stars?
Oh, it was so much fun, and at this point, it's I don't want to say it's easy, but you kind of get in the flow. You catch a stride with talking to people and learning how to communicate with different people from different aspects of life, and it's just fun. Like, we get the drinks going early, and it's almost like a party, and you forget the camera's there, and it's a great way to learn about the guest and to have that person on. Before the interview, Mitchell grew up. When he came on, I was like, Mitchell, it's so intimidating because you're obviously such a good host, and I'm kind of just getting started at this, nervous around the camera. So I said, what are some tips you can give me? And he goes, do your homework, man. Yeah. Do your homework. If you're going to interview somebody, research them and dig into it. So I found Kroncast on YouTube. You have a YouTube channel called Kroncast, I think? Yeah.
And then I started watching some of the interviews. And first of all, great job on interviewing people. You do a really good job with that.
Thank you.
But then, as I was watching them, I realized, this is, I'm just sitting there watching or walking around with my headphones and listening to it. And the longer I listened to it, it really kept my attention, and it got more and more interesting the longer it went on. I don't know how you do that.
Oh, you have to be interested. You know what I mean? You have to be interested in your guest, and you have to be interested in picking apart what's going on, what makes that guest tick. That's what I'm in love with, is finding out what makes that person go. What's their passion, because a lot of people, they'll come in and talk about their job, and it's like, yeah, but what are you really into? Like, what makes you go? And I just love finding that out about people. And then when you can tap into that, conversation's easy. Like, it just goes, because they want to talk about that.
Right, and then they start telling stories, and they have interesting stories, because the guests are interesting people. And it's just, all of a sudden it's over, and you're like, wow. I was listening to one yesterday while I was just, doing some things, my Sunday routine, or my weekend routine. Now, for the folks that don't know, we do film this show on Monday and air it on Tuesday. That's a thing. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m., watch Sprout Central. But anyway, it was really interesting to listen to that flow, and the longer you kept them, the more they were comfortable and started telling those stories.
Yeah.
What are some of the most interesting stories you've heard on there?
Oh man, well, some I can't talk about, because like I said, these people forget the cameras on. They start going into these deep stories. A good friend of mine, Pepper Goins, he's a host of Rushmore podcast, really successful podcast here on the coast. I think they're out of Pascagoula. He's told some stories about his youth and some trouble he's gotten in. If you want to go back and listen to that episode, it's very interesting. We've had Catherine Meinerich on.
On this show.
Yeah.
Great guest.
Yeah, she's great. We talked about politics with her.
She has a PhD in political science.
Yeah. It's just
brilliant.
Yeah,
I hope we can get her back on the show. Hi, Catherine, if you're watching.
It's tough to keep up. Tough to keep up with a PhD, but
I know.
We tried, because the things she talked about with politics, like what you see on TV, isn't always the way it works. Like, 'cause TV. Most of that stuff's propaganda anyway. But like her, we've had makeup artists on. We've had like I said, actors, musicians, and the musicians are the most fun. The comedians are a lot of fun. Obviously, they're just slinging jokes everywhere. And let's see, I can't think of any safe for Sprout TV stories, but
hey, we want to get some of these comedians to come on and do a little segment before they go on your show, so that
you should
direct them to it.
Absolutely, yeah. Landmass Comedy. We work with Landmass Comedy a lot. We get a lot of their comedians. They kind of organize all the most of the comedy shows here on the coast. I got the I guess he's the leader, president, whatever you want to call him, Krangus. He runs Landmass Comedy, and they do open mics at the Juke Joint
Nice.
every Tuesday. They have comedy night over there, and we go over there all the time, and it's just a lot of fun. And we tap into all their guys and have them on.
We'd love to have some comedians on the show. Normally, it's it's not really serious. We're we're very lighthearted here, but it's normally a business person or somebody like you.
Yeah.
Even though you're in the rock band and all that, you're really here talking about inspiring more people to start their own thing, which
Absolutely.
is what we want to do on the show.
Yeah.
We want you to start your own thing on Sprout Central. Phil, we really appreciate you being here. I think we're about to run out of time.
Okay.
Want you to come back and tell us what's going on Kroncast and bring some of these comedians into some comedians. But look, if you're stuck, if you need a business plan, if you need some ideas, tune into Sprout Central and also reach out to us. Give us a call if we can help you start your business or just come up with a great business idea. We love to hear from the people who watch the show, and we love to hear from business people who need help. So thanks for watching, and don't miss next week. We're going to have Mr. Franchise, Andy Snyder, on the show, and we're going to talk about franchise ideas and how to get them funded.
Audio Jungle.